Yeah, I'm pretty sure this could count as a vestige, right? Anyway. Hey, everybody and critters. This is Retrokid Reviews. Finally breaking the, I guess, month-long curse of basically doing nothing but figure form content to finally get around to doing a singular episode review of Critical Role's animated first series of Legend of Vox Machina for Prime. This is going to be mild spoilers so far for Season 4. I will be back hopefully next week in camera again as well to talk about the season as a whole. But in case you could tell from my half frog-like voice, kind of lost my mind last night with the return of not just Delilah Briarwood, voiced again by Greg Lyle, but we got a Campaign 3 character very early on in this episode. This is going to be the only episode I'm going to be talking about, so sporadic spoilers right now in case you guys are going to miss anything for this latest batch of episodes. This is going to be episodes 7 through 9 of Season 4. It's good. No, without kidding, there is going to be some changes from Campaign 1 that everyone knows. One of them we're going to be talking about for the majority of this video later down the road today, when it comes to a certain Campaign 3 character. Cracking voice aside, and me probably needing to get my water when this is all said and done. Yeah, this episode was actually surprisingly insane. You get a good hint of where Delilah's been using the Whitestone Castle to her own machinations to get Silas back pre-start of this series. Don't know pre-campaign-wise, so mileage may vary there. Those are any changes there. Getting Scanlan back was a hard endeavor, but might get paid off next week, given everything that's been going on with Pike after her father figure passed and Grog taking it the hardest out of everyone. I thought the orb thing was going to be the kickoff to their adaptation of Search for Grog, one of his handful of rare campaign deaths that might get canonized down the road. So again, mild spoilers aside and mild sporadics aside, we'll get more into that next weekend with the full review for the season. So that being said, this is going to be probably the tail end of this video starting now. Yes, so if you haven't watched Campaign 3, and for those who don't know, it was actually my first campaign watching Critical Role actual play content in general. And there was a particular Mercury character that I didn't think we get to see this early on before our campaign. But here we are. So again, last spoilers for this episode in particular in 3, 2... Yeah, Lana was here! How the hell was she here? With the Band-Aid ripped out of the way, on to the most obvious question. Who was voicing her? A lot of her pitch and cadence was very what Marisha had in the original actual play for the Bell's Hells. But for the most part, it also has like the same kind of voice register as like Greg Delisle's Delilah, which also kind of makes sense for, again, spoilers to most of Campaign 3. Go to my playlist for this, as far as old reacts go. She was mostly in control with her mind and mostly in control with her undead magic and powers for the majority of, I guess, the early arcs of Bell's Hell, so that does still kind of tracks with this episode. Again, just her having an entire action scene with Vexalia and Vex. Speaking of which, yes, I am very much aware this is also the story arc he will be going through it the hardest, being challenged by the Matron Ravens, now that he's been her champion since last season. Don't know how things played out in the actual play. Also, mild spoilers for some guest characters I'll also talk about in next week's wrap-up for the season. I'm very much aware that John here was also a guest character, one of the very few celebrity guest characters they had for the actual play, so nice to see him basically have his character played out as well. I have a very froggy voice versus him turning into a duck. What was that all about in the actual play? Seriously. Anyway, back onto the Laudna of it all. We had a very good, I want to say, upgraded, like, flashback of how she was used as the warning for the Sun Tree in the early days of this particular campaign, and how it got played off in the actual play for Bell's Hells later down the road when I started watching actual play content. So ultimately, it is a solid episode. Not gonna lie, I thought I'd be second screening the IMDb more than usual, case you could tell with the glare. But no, honestly, this is a really strong episode, and among many strong episodes for Campaign 3 fans like myself, I would say this will be their best episode. It's a lot of reflection on Percy's end of just how far he's become since the days of the Briarwood arc, and now the reemergence of Delilah is basically, I guess to put it in like WWE terms, the feud is back on, and it might have a rubber match. Long story short, there, if it's anything to indicate from the actual play. Ultimately, no scores yet for the season as a whole, but for this particular episode, it is a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I know it's really, really high, and I'll probably simmer it down by the time I get to my overall scores for each episode for Season 4 next week, along with my Supergirl review, so yeah, my miles may vary there. And until I probably break my voice again for Campaign 4 live blogs tonight, if you are watching this from my Tumblr audience, I guess the day after. Yeah, end cards finally coming up here to wrap up this video. First hand here to sub the channel, hit the notification bell down below. Previous video also as well. Campaign 4 merch here to sub the channel. High point this video if you are new to the channel. And other hand here, finally, to my Critical Role playlist, talking about not just this episode, but most of Vox Machina as a whole. And yeah, most of the crazy adventures of one scary, but fun scary, dead lady known as Lana during Campaign 3. So, with that all being said, thank you for watching. I'm sorry that it took this long to finally do in-person content, but if there was anything that would get me back into the saddle when it comes to, like, semi-vlog reviews, I didn't think it'd be long. I'm gonna be real with you on this one. So, anyway, take care, subscribe. This is Retrokid Review saying, so we're getting an animated Campaign 3 adaptation down the road, right, Matt? Right? Amazon? Just saying.